We're going to talk about swim workout structure. So, if you didn't come from a age group swimming background, you might not have much of a idea of how to swim other than to jump in the pool and swim laps, taking a break whenever you need to. That's a start if you are just getting into triathlon or swim training to get in, do a lap, take a break, do a lap, take a break. That gets you going. But once you get to the point where you really want to start advancing your swimming ability, your swim endurance, your performance in triathlon and open water races, you really want to break the workout down into sections as well as have different themes for your workout. So I'm going to explain all that. First step, workout structure. That would include three or four parts. The first part is always going to be the warm up. So that could be, for example, in a 2,000 yard workout, you could do a 400 easy mix. You're not worried too much about form or anything like that. You're just going for loosening up your body. Then you want to do kick and drills. You can do them together or you can do them separately, like a 4 by 50 kick and then 4 by 50 drill, or it could be 650s of kick down, drill back. Drills, there's a ton out there. I'm going to let YouTube World explain drills as far as swimming goes. So that's your warm up, your kick and drills, and then your main set. Your main set, this could be a number of different things. And this is where you would change the focus of the workout. So we have three main focuses in swim training. Number one is endurance. That's steady, moderate to moderate hard for advanced swimmers. That would be in like the zone 3 or 4 of effort levels as far as triathlon training goes. And endurance is just like it sounds. You're working on your ability to go farther and farther to hold pace for a longer time. In a 2,000 yard workout in this sample, a good endurance set could be 3 by 300 yards or 3 by 400 yards. So swimming somewhere in that 5 to 8 minute range, could be 10 minutes for you advanced swimmers that might be getting more into like 3 by 800 yards, but now we're expanding past 2,000 yards, so I'm not discussing that. But longer swims with longer rest after each interval. So in a 3 by 300 example, you're going to swim that in, I don't know, maybe you go 3:45 if you're pretty good, or you do it in 6 minutes, whatever that may be. Take at least 30 seconds rest, if not a minute rest after each of those 300s. And then the last part of the workout is cooling down, right? So 100 to 200 yards, easy swimming, easy kicking, maybe easy drilling, entirely up to you. Back to the main set. So we have our endurance sets. Now, longer endurance for swimmers getting ready for Ironman, long open water, that could be 3 by 1,000, 3 by 1,500, with the caveat or recommendation that if you start to really lose form in a 500-yard swim or a 1,000-yard swim, then you're better off for the most part shortening it and taking a little rest. So instead of doing 3 1,000s, maybe you do 6 500s. Now, at some point you will need to swim continuously, but your goal is to have almost as good form at the end of these sessions that you do at the beginning of the session. So if you're still, if form is still a real issue for you, I would recommend keeping your sets shorter. So that's an endurance set. An endurance set for a shorter or a newer swimmer could be 6 by 200s or 5 by 200s, where you're just doing a steady, moderate effort. The next level of swim training is muscular endurance or tempo training or moderate, hard effort. This is where you're going to do something like that same 6 by 200s, but now multiple choice. You could do them all pretty hard, kind of hard to pretty hard, with 20 to 30 seconds rest. You could negative split all of them, where the second half, the second 100 of each 200 is harder than the first 100. The time might not be faster, but the effort is harder. Or you could descend. descend in swimming is number one is easy, number two is moderate, number three is hard. So descending time, ascending effort. You can do that with 400s, you could do that with 500s, you could do that with 800s if you are at that level of training. The third focus of swimming is speed, right? Sprints. If you're a newer swimmer just getting into it, I wouldn't really get into sprint training anytime soon. Give it a few months until your body really starts to adapt, and you have the strength to do that without getting hurt. Sprinting is similar to every other sprinting thing where there's a higher chance of hurting yourself. So you want to make sure you have the fitness for that. That being said, for a newer swimmer, something like 8 by 25s, 10 by 25s, they could all be fast or they could be alternating fast and recovery so that you're recovering after each fast one. That obviously leaves a lot of space in a 2,000-yard workout that you would fill with endurance work or a longer warm up or more drills. For intermediate to advanced swimmers, that's when you can look at doing a total of 500 to 600 yards. That is all pretty fast. Um, so you could break that into 10 100s, alternating one fast sprint, one super easy recovery. You could do 5 100s all fast with 2 minutes rest or something like that. You could do 16 25s, all of them fast with 20 or 30 seconds rest after each one. So your sprint variations are all over the place. They can be 25s, 50s, up to 100s. Probably not more than 100. Nobody can sprint more than 100. Even the best sprinters are still pacing themselves slightly for those 100 yards or 100 meters. And then when you're doing your sprint workouts, there will be more space because you're not going to sprint 1,000 yards, right? You're going to sprint maybe 400, 500, maybe 600 in total, and everything else is going to be warm up, drills and kick, cool down, and maybe some endurance work before the sprints. So to summarize, warm up, kick and drills, main set, cool down. Your main set is what you're changing around your focus. For triathletes, it is helpful to learn other strokes, especially backstroke. Butterfly is good for strength work. Breaststroke is good for strength work and mixing up the muscle usage. But I get it. If you don't want to learn those, you can stick with freestyle. Just get good at doing some drills. Hope that helps.